Chants of India will help you in understanding the meaning and the significance of selected chants from Vedic times.
Hello and good morning, friends. Today I'm going to bring to you an important connection of number 5 with Lord Shiva. The very mantra is called Panchakshari Mantra. The mantra for Lord Shiva is Panchakshari Mantra, Panchabhutas, Panchakriyas. So a similar one is Panchanana. In Agama scriptures, where Lord Shiva is known to have these full of aspects, mukhas. Panchanana is 5 faces. And it is very nicely depicted in Agama scriptures about where Shiva is known to be a Sadat Shiva, the supreme being, and supported by these aspected mukhas. These mukhas are Sadyo Jata Mukha, Vamadeva Mukha, Aghora Mukha, Tatpurusha Mukha, and Isana Mukha. So before I go and detail out what these mukhas represent or the aspects behind these mukhas, largely we should know the other aspects of 5 with Lord Shiva. So these mukhas eventually represent the 5 directions, the 5 elements, the 5 body parts, the 5 form of energies, the 5 knowledge areas. So all of these things are brought to us by these 5 aspects of these mukhas and by Lord Shiva. So even further, there are known 5 functions of Shiva. In terms of in a philosophical or I would say spiritual sense, it is connected to certain cosmic functions like creation, which is Srishti. He is responsible for all form of creations, and basically he manifests himself into individual souls of the living, and that's why this form represents the power of bliss. The second function is preservation, Sthiti. He is the preserver of everything that he creates, or everything that is manifested from him. And this function provides the power of breathing and the fire that helps the assimilation, the digestion. The third one is revelation, Anugraha. And in this form, Shiva represents the truth as well as the supreme knowledge, and through which he is the one responsible for providing liberation to all human beings. Fourth one is concealment, Tirobhava. And in this form, very importantly, Lord Shiva tries to conceal and keep certain things under delusion. A level of delusion is maintained, and he does not allow the living beings to perceive the true nature, and thereby that it creates a potential for the reach out to the supreme being. The fifth one is destruction, the laya or samhara. Here the creator, he is the creator and as well as the one who ends the things. And here it's not about literal terms it's destruction. It's actually assimilating certain things into a different form. So it's basically controlling the life cycle. So these are the 5 main functions. Now the aspects of these Shiva's faces are somewhat related. The Isana or the Sadashiva face that governs the zenith, it looks upwards, and it covers the Akasha, the sky. And this form represents Shiva as the Lord, Isana. The Isana means the Lord of the 14 worlds. And in humans, it represents the power of consciousness and to realize the universal consciousness. And the mantra associated with this form is Yatra kutra sthitam devam sarvavyapi namishwaram yallingam pujayin nityam yakaraya namo namaha. The Sadat Muka or the Mahadeva Mukha, which is the east faced, is the king of the earth, Prithvi. And this word Sadyojata comes from a combination of two words. Sadhyaha means it is now, it is imminent, or it is about immediate. And Jataha means born. So it is said that Shiva enters the Jivi to cause the Jivana. And this form represents our mind, our taste, the willpower and the pleasures of the life. And the mantra associated with this form is Shivam Shantam Jagannatham Lokanugrahakaranam Shivam Ekam Param Vande Shikaraya Namo Namaha. The third phase, Tat Purusha or Nandi Vakra, the face of Nandi, it is west facing and denoting Vayu. Alright, and in this form, Tat Purusha means, Tat means Paramatma, and altogether Tat Purusha is, all guna, saguna filled Parabrahma. And this form is known to be always in meditations and providing blessings to the world. And in us, this represents the power of bliss and focusing power. The mantra associated is Namaste Deva Devesha, Namaste Parameshwara, Namaste Vrishabharuda, Nakaraya Namo Namaha. Vamadeva, the fourth face, is also known as Vakra, the face of Parvati, and it faces north and denotes water, Apaha. And this face is associated with strength, Shakti. It represents Parvati and represents Maya, the grand illusion, and the feminine strength. It also represents beauty. In us, it represents the power of action in our body, the voluntary and the involuntary. The mantra associated here is Vahanam Vrashabho Yasya Vasukihi Kanthabhushanam Vameshati Dharam Vande Vakaraya Namo Namaha. The fifth face, Aghora, which is also known as Rudra or Bhairava, and it looks south. It's facing south, representing fire, Agni. Again, I have given you the connection of each of these faces with these elements. Representing Agni, it depicts the raw power of Shiva, and the main function is destruction. As I related, destruction doesn't mean completely annihilating. It's the transformation from one to another form. It's the break of one cycle and start of another. So it's like the churn of life cycle. And why Shiva does this is it is understood that he provides the justice and basically enforces the worldly laws. And in us, it is associated with power of mind. It also represents the growth of knowledge as well as intellect in a person. The mantra associated is Mahadevam Mahatmanam Mahapatakanashanam Mahapapaharam Vande Makaraya Namo Namaha.
Thank you for listening. As with every show, we have a long way to go, and your review and comments will play a big role in helping us get better. You can write to us with your feedback. Better yet, leave a review.